Welcome to the Actoring Magic Channel. I'm Steve, the Actuary. Today we're going to be talking about Queen Marchesa. But before we get into that, I want to let you know we're doing a 30-day 30 commander challenge where we look at the top 30 commanders for the past 2 years. So stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll have another video. All right, Queen Marchesa. She is Mardu colors. She's a red, black, white, and one generic 3/3 human assassin death touch haste. When it enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent is the monarch, put a 1/1 black assassin creature token with death touch and haste into the battlefield. Heck yeah. So let's talk about it. I'm going to probably run her personally as a value commander. So I think that's where we start getting into these weird cards that sometimes don't see a lot of play in commander, but I think you should. Now these are hosers, what I like to call the hosers. All right, so a lot of these are going to require that you build around them, but if you do, they just shut entire decks out of the format. Rest in Peace is a white and one generic. It says when it enters battlefield, exile all cards from all graveyards. If a card or token would put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So tokens don't touch the graveyard. Like normal cards don't touch the graveyard. They're just gone forever. So zombies are going to just be super hurt. And I know zombies are super popular right now. Anyway, so Stony Silence is another one of those hosers. It's a black, sorry, it's a white, it's a generic enchantment. Activated abilities of artifacts can be activated. That means clues. That means treasures. That means everything artifact can't be activated, and it doesn't care about mana abilities. This is one of those rare instances where it doesn't say unless it's a mana ability. It just says activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated, period. So powerful. Then we get into Suppression Field, which is a little bit more generic or more utilitarian in my opinion, and you really have to build around this deck because activated abilities become a lot more limited. It's a white, it's one generic enchantment. It says activated abilities cost 2 more to play unless they're mana abilities. Now this applies to artifacts, this applies to enchantments, this applies to creatures, this applies to lands that aren't producing necessarily mana to do their ability. This is good, and it prevents so many infinite combos from just being able to go off. This is disgusting. Anyway, number 6 on our list, if you haven't seen this guy, he is so much fun whenever you're doing combat in Mardu. He's a black, white, red, 2 generic, Goblin Berserker, 2/2 haste. Why would I pay 5 mana for a 2/2? Hold on, my friend. Hold on. When he attacks, creatures you control gain first strike and death touch until end of turn. Remember how we said Queen Marchesa has death touch? Well, first strike and death touch, they go hand in hand like a glove. Interesting. Anyway, so number 5 on my list is Guardian of Faith. Now this is a pseudo, what do you call it? It's a pseudo Teferi's Protection. It's a double white, one generic, 3/2 flash vigilance. It says when it enters the battlefield, any number of other target creatures you control phase out. This means that tokens aren't seen by the game anymore. Creatures aren't seen by the game. Equipment and enchantments that are on those creatures aren't seen by the game. So whenever something phases out, board wipe doesn't happen to it, but that also means that it's not being exiled from play. It's just ignored for the turn. So if you phase out a creature, the enchantments don't fall off and the auras don't fall off. They get phased out as well. All right. Next up, number 4 on our list, we have a bunch of, hey, I don't like you attacking me, so I don't want you to become the Monarch cards. Let's talk about these. So Arcane of Absolution is a 4-drop. Baird of Steward of Argive. Baird Steward of Argive is a 4-drop. Archangel of Ties is a 4-drop, and they all have varying degrees of white mana. So they all say creatures can't attack you or planeswalker you control unless their controller pays 1. Arcane of Absolution has protection from white. Baird has vigilance. He's a human soldier. And then the angel, Archangel of Tides, says as long as it is untapped, creatures can't attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays 1 generic for each of those creatures. This helps us whenever they have infinite creatures and they're trying to attack us for the win. As long as Archangel of Tides is attacking, Creatures can't block unless their controller pays 1 for each of those creatures. So Archangel of Tides is the best, but it's also got the most restrictive mana with 3 white mana. All right, those are really powerful. I think they help us keep our advantage with the monarchy. All right, number 3, Ghostly Prison and Sphere of Safety. These guys, they go right together. And I actually kind of encourage people to play a more of an enchantment build with Queen Marchesa, but you don't have to. Anyway, so Ghostly Prison is 1 white, 2 generic enchantment. It says creatures can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. This does not prevent them from attacking planeswalkers. However, Sphere of Safety says creatures can't attack you or a planeswalker you control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control. So if you're going into enchantments in the Mardu colors, these just, they're so perfect for it. Number 2 on our list is Revel and Riches. This card's disgusting. It's a black, it's 4 generic enchantment out of, I believe, Excellent. And whenever creature an opponent controls dies, create a colorless treasure artifact token with tap, sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So you don't want to be running this if you're running something like Stony Silence. So you kind of have to make judgment calls like, I'm playing this card, should I play this card? Okay. But it says at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, why not? So you Revel in Riches. The next turn, you play Day of Judgment, you board wipe, and then you get all of those tokens from all of your opponents, and then you just untap, win? Heck yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you very much. Number 1 on our list, drum roll, please. Luminaric Ascension. If you've never resolved this on turn 2, oh my goodness. Print up a proxy and try it. It's disgusting. 1 white, 1 generic enchantment. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, if you didn't lose life this turn, damage, life lost, whatever, you may put a quest counter on Luminaric Ascension. 1 white, 1 generic. Create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if Luminaric Ascension has 4 or more quest counters on it. This is awesome. So every time somebody doesn't hit you for 1 point of damage, you're going to get a quest counter. Now you can proliferate these quest counters if you so choose. So you can accelerate this process. You get 1 on there, you don't need to like have them not attacking you to be able to get those counters on it. Luminarc Ascension is just awesome. Just awesome. If you resolve this early game or even late game, whenever you've got a bunch of these cards in play, like Ghostly Prison and Sphere of Safety, they can't attack you anymore. They just can't afford to. And so Luminarc Ascension is just going to put the hurt on your opponents. You're going to always have a constant board state. You can board wipe over and over again and just repopulate your board with very little problems. Luminarc Ascension, A+. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Dolls as well. We love you. But thank you so much for coming out. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I'm so excited about my channel, and thank you for helping support me. All right. I love you. Bye. I don't know that I love value. Jimmy? I'm not sure about you, buddy. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. Where's the button?